Hey, Mortgage Coach community, Dave Savage here, and today I am interviewing Linda McKinley. How are you doing, Linda?
I'm doing great, Dave.
Good. It's been a few years since I've got to do an interview with you, so I'm excited to catch up in a public way in front of the Mortgage Coach community.
The world.
The world, right? The mortgage world. So,
yes.
So you've been at this for a long time. I mean, you're a very, I don't know, from my perspective, you're like what I consider one of the best mortgage professionals in the country. You've always done a great job of delivering personalized service, leveraging technology, Mortgage Coach, but, just that local lender that also delivers a high-tech experience. Tell us how things are going for you and any challenges you've had this year.
Well, things are going a lot better since I realized how much this business has changed technology-wise. I never considered myself to get rate shopped. I was always delivering value. And now the speed of that value being delivered has changed. I think I got blindsided probably in December and January with other things. And I've really listened to a lot of the other people, especially with Fairway and also the Mortgage Coach community. Your Scriptapalooza deal was great. It got my head straightened on again. And I think the way I do business has had to change quickly. I never would give out my cell phone number. That was just my personal belief. And now my cell phone is part of the business. Mobile apps, TCA is, I'm doing that quite a bit, even more than I was. I kind of lost that. I think you just kind of are lulled into a false sense of security, and I got wakened pretty quickly. So now I'm more deliberate. I am meeting with customers, which I've always met with them face to face and gone over everything, but I know now that they want a lot more technology. So I'm get the application ahead of time. We've got the Fairway Now app, which is, I think, LexisNexis, and getting as much information as I can up front, letting them know what I'm going to need and letting them know that I need about an hour of their time to sit down. And then I just sit down with them, set the stage. I think that so many of these borrowers are going to the internet for their education and their information, and we have to change that. So, everything on the internet is fact, but once they get in front of me, I can show them what the true facts are. I always go through every loan program that's available for them. And the reason I do that is because if they leave my office and they hear about this great USDA program, well, I didn't mention it to them because I knew right away they didn't qualify, but I've lost some credibility. It just starts to chink away. So I want to be able to say, well, we reviewed that USDA loan and you don't qualify because of this. And even if I know they're going to go conventional, they hear about USDA, they hear about FHA. What else do they?
Well, first of all, let me jump in real quick because I want to break down a few things. So first of all, you mentioned you saw Scriptapalooza. Anybody that's watching this video, I'll put a link down below. That's where I interviewed about a dozen of America's most successful loan officers that also use Mortgage Coach really effectively. And it had specific scripts. Hey, when a family is grinding you and you ask you what the rate is, how do you respond? And by the way, it's different this year than it was last year. So check out Scriptapalooza. Also, myself and our team, we put together the lead conversion playbook by Mortgage Coach. It's in LinkedIn. I'll put a link down below on that. So those are just two resources outside of this call. The other thing, you said is like, hey, because you've used Mortgage Coach for years, but you'd kind of got to the point where you were waiting until you needed to use it. Like, oh, I'm getting grinded. Let's go try to save this loan. And so I heard three things. I heard one, you're using mobile and text more, which you've got to do. Two, you're using Mortgage Coach before you get in trouble, so you're using it more proactively. By the way, you said the Fairway app, it's Simple Nexus. So you're using, yeah, it's okay. I'm getting it right. So you're using Simple Nexus. Yeah, but So that you're giving that as an option to families, right? I mean, is that how you're using it?
Yes.
Good. And then have you seen a difference in your conversion since you've been doing, these things?
I have, and then I'm also doing blogs, making sure I'm posting to Facebook. And before, I didn't do much personally on Facebook, business-wise, but I have my business page. But I also copy everything to personal. So I think here's kind of what happened with me, Dave, is all of a sudden you're not using the scripts, you're not being diligent, you're not using Mortgage Coach all the time, and then you lose confidence because you're not doing it, so you're not that great at it. I mean, I come from the heart always on, counseling people, but when you're not doing it day to day, your confidence level just goes down. So what I liked about listening to all the scripts was, I used to say that. Darn, I need to say that more. And, Lori Richardson was awesome. Josh Metal was awesome. There's so many people in this business that have done it right for so long. I always considered myself one of those that did, and I still do, and I still have the customer at heart, but you've got to approach it in a disciplined way. And I think your product, kudos to you, Dave, for all these years. I mean, your program has stood the test of time, and it helps so many customers. One thing I use with them is I go through and do the total cost analysis, but as these people are looking for properties, it's send me the address, call me with the address of the properties you're looking for. I will send you a total cost analysis, so before you even cross the threshold, you know exactly what that payment's going to be and how much money you need at different price points. This market's way too fast and too limited of inventory to have to tell your realtor, well, as soon as I can reach my lender, I'll let you know what we want to offer. I'm telling the people, you are ready to rock and roll. You're pre-approved. Let's go for it. You've got to get in there right away.
And I know you're doing this, but also text me. So it's like, email, call, or text me, and then I can update this. Now, something else I want to make sure doesn't get missed, and we're actually planning to update the playbook because we kind of overlooked it as a core strategy, but I've been hearing this all the time in interviews, is that you're giving people more options up front. So that, because everybody's going to shop, they want options. But if you provide the total cost analysis with options, they're shopping with you, I'm finding that, proactively showing them with points, without points, because the whole concept, like if I just quote you a rate in a program and then you hear it different from someone else, or if I don't feel that I can shop with you, you really need to train the customers that, hey, go with me. I'm giving you options. You pick the option. And if you want me to update these options, I'll update it. So call it option selling is a bigger deal than ever before. You agree with that?
I agree. I totally agree with that. And being able to copy the agent, the realtor knows exactly what we're looking at. Do they want option 1, 2, 3, or 4? How much do they need for the down payment? What will the loan amount be? How are their names? I mean, just trying to, all the things that we have to fix or that delay that offer getting done, you can do it just with your communication to the buyer and the realtor. I've had realtors actually call and say, well, they're waiting on you now, Linda. They don't want to do anything until they know if it's option 2 that you think they should go with.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, so there you go. So I always like to get a script out of folks. So I want to hear how you, before you give them the total cost analysis, so that when they get it, they're like, oh, I love this. And do you say anything intentional so that they actually download the app? If you could just speak to that.
I can just take my people this morning, first-time home buyers, going over, not sure what the price is going to be on this for sale by owner. I said, here, let's just right now, as we're pricing this loan, look at how easily it goes right into the Mortgage Coach. You guys are going to have all these numbers by the time you leave. So I was just updating it. Okay, you want to pay $350, $355, $360? Do you want single pay mortgage insurance or do you want monthly? And they can also tell with their closing costs, do you want the seller to pay some of your closing costs? If so, how much? So we've done a lot more single pay mortgage insurance, and the realtor knows right up front, the buyer knows right up front, here's what you need to ask the seller for.
Love that. Now, were they in your office?
They were right in my office, and the girlfriend was saying, well, can you send that to Corey too? I said, yeah, we're going to do it, and let me show you how. So I pulled, mortgage coaches there. I said, here's what you're going to see. You're going to have to download the app, but then you just click on the more information button. Look at this. You can see the payment for each of these. You can see what the closing costs are. Let's look at this. How long do you think you'll have the property? Here's where it is over time. And the other side where it helps the agents, this happened to be a for sale by owner, but it helps the agents in, your payment difference is $48 a month. Is that a reason to not buy this property? And we're in a small market, so we don't have tract housing. So really, when you find the house that fits your criteria, here it is. And if you have to pay $48 more a month, is it worth it? So it was pretty cool. And they didn't open it when they got here, or when they received it, and I heard their phones ding. But I guarantee they were, and they're talking with parents probably right now going over all of that. So it was pretty cool.
Love that. Well, obviously you've made the transition, call it the digital transition, to being a modern mortgage professional. You've always been just an amazing mortgage leader. And to your point, you are a mortgage coach, and now you're just following your best practices more consistently. Now, what about the point of sale app, the Simple Nexus, Fairway Now? When are you introducing that, and what does that sound like in your conversation?
I'm introducing that right when I'm on the phone with them, or my assistant is doing the same thing. So we can meet with you. What I'd like you to do is go to our Fairway Now app. I'll send you the link, or it's even my website, or I can do this over the phone. So however they want to do it. Usually they want the, instant. So I don't need all of your information. Fill out as much of it as you can so that we're more efficient when we meet, because I know your time is important also. Just do the best you can. Don't delay. Get it done right away. Then I can review it, and I can send you a list of documents that I need you to bring to the closing or that you can upload.
Love it. So again, congratulations. Now, if you're watching this and you got value from this, like it, share it with your mortgage friends. And Linda, congrats on making that digital transition so that you are delivering that. Everybody on this call, it's more important than ever in today's market that you don't wait until you're fighting to keep a loan. Between your point of sale app, between Mortgage Coach, you need to give people a total cost analysis so that they have options, and that you can now be a guided advisor. By the way, I don't know if you're doing this, Linda, but I want to make sure everybody remembers you can update that total cost analysis on your mobile phone. And by the way, with our new Optimal Blue, we've had Optimal Blue on the desktop version, but now you can also price it from your phone. So you could go from price to advice on your mobile phone.
Yep.
So more and more, you as a mortgage professional need to get used to driving that mobile experience with the families that you serve. You need to get better at driving that mobile workflow yourself, both with your point of sale app and your Mortgage Coach app. And anyways, Linda, thank you for coming in and sharing. By the way, remind everybody what market you're in.
I'm in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. So our, Glenwood Springs is 10,000 people. Our market area is probably about 50,000.
And even in every market, would you agree, being a modern mortgage professional makes sense? It's not just for big cities. I mean, everybody in every market.
It's adapt or die, because I've been in Glenwood Springs since 1976. I thought I knew everybody. There have been so many people moving in here, and who's Linda McKinley? So now I'm back on it and, doing it the right way. Adapt or die.
I love your attitude. Well, by the way, if you have a question for Linda or me, put it below. So if you're watching this on YouTube, put it below in comments. If you're on Facebook, put it in comments. And remember, I put a link down below in the description of this video to both the Scriptapalooza call and the lead conversion playbook. Linda, thank you very much for your time today.
Thanks, Dave. Take care.
Take care, everybody.